Good morning. The topic for the today class is the how to set up a blood center unit. So the new name of the blood bank is now blood center unit. So this is the first update. So next slide. So our process was started in September 2018. So initial visit was made to the office of the CDSCO Varanasi zone to understand the process flow of the blood center licensing. Document pertaining to the staff, that is medical officer in charge, medical officer, nursing officer, counselor, technician were uploaded on UPFTA and registered at the office of Inspector of Drugs. Area designated for the blood center was finalized by the engineering department as per Drug and Cosmetic Act. So area and plan was finalized by Dr. S. Rajadacha, HOD, Transfusion Medicine, TMH, and Dr. Joseph, SR Transfusion Medicine in association with Tata Trust. This was a proposed area in the second floor of our hospital at Varanasi. So after that, we need equipments. So we made the equipment list, and this is the provided by Tata Trust. So these are the you can say 2 pages of the equipment list. So one by one we see the what are the equipments we needed for the setting a blood bank. So this is the blood donor couch. You can see in each and every blood bank, this is a blood donor couch. This is the blood collection monitor where the blood bags placed during the bleeding. This is the automated cell separator. This is the most common machine we encounter in the blood bank. It is used for the STP collection and stem cell collection. This is the tube sealer. This is the automated hemoglobinometer. So with this, we measure only hemoglobin. So we just do a prick in the finger and put the blood here and place it here. It will tell us the hemoglobin. So cutoff value of hemoglobin is 12.5. Then this is blood bank refrigerator -40. We need it for to put the PRBC. This is the plasma thyme bath. This is the platelet agitator. So we need to this for the putting the platelet and STP. So there is continuous shaking mode. So we can require to the maintain the quality of platelet and STP. This is the -80 refrigerator, deep freezer. And this is the most important part of any freezer. We need to record temperature continuously. So this is -83 and curve should be right. If it is a deep, then our products are in the denser. So this is placed in, this is attached with each deep freezer in the blood bank. This is the deep freezer -20. Mainly it is used for the storing for the reagents in the which is used in the blood bank. This is a refrigerated centrifuge. This is the place where we are putting the blood banks for the separation. And this is the weighing balance. So each weight of each bag should be equal before putting in the machine. Otherwise, it can damage the machine during the centrifuge process. This is the automated component separator. We just put a bag here and it will be separated automatically into the platelet, plasma, and required protein. This is the simple plasma expressor. We put a bag here and we can separate into the PRBC and plasma. This is the sterile connecting device. We can divide the big bag to a small one, especially needed in the pediatric to just pediatric unit, and also during the stem cell transfer from the one bag to another bag. This is a laminar airflow. Generally, if you go to the BMT posting, you can see this, and we are mostly do the cassette making process for the stem cell preservation in this, and also with the DMSO mixing with the stem cell. This is the pH meter, which is required to check the quality of the blood products. It is mainly used for the platelet, and the value is 6.2 and above. If it is less than 6.2, the quality of platelet is not permissible. This is the binocular microscope we used for the mainly the cross matching, also for the Coombs test. This is the ELISA reader. This is the small test tube. So we just put our blood samples here, and we can check HBsAg, HIV, and HCV before the any issuing the any blood unit or storing any blood unit. This is the ELISA washer. This is the autoclave. So before discarding at any unit from the blood bank, we should autoclave to avoid any infection to the community. This is the blood bank incubator. This is the bench top centrifuge. This is the VDRL rotator. This is the weighing balance we needed for the weighing blood bag. This is the cell washer. This is the pipette, so we can take the desired amount of the blood sample for the cross matching. This is the cryo bath, and this is the hand sealer, and this is the weighing machine. So before donor, we need to take the weight of the all donors. It should be, I think, more than 45 to accept any donation from the donors. So in the next month, October 2018, all equipments as per Drug and Cosmetic Act were installed and labeled accordingly. Additional items were procured through the purchase and store department. Documents pertaining to the installation, qualification, operational qualification, performance qualification, calibration were obtained. Standard operating procedures for all the respective working area like donor registration and screening, counseling, donor area, apheresis area, refreshment, component separation, and storage quality control, testing for the transfusion, transmissible infection, red cell serology, and issue are written and reviewed by the medical officer in charge. All statutory forms, registers, and record documents as per Drugs and Cosmetic Acts pertaining to the blood center were arranged. So after that, we just blood bank came into the shape. This is the registration area. This is the waiting area. This is the medical examination room. This is the blood collection area. This is the red cell serology area. This is the transfusion transmitted infection testing laboratory. This is the discard and sterilization room. This is the donor refreshment room. You can see you need some refreshment and also space for the waiting. This is non-air conditioned storage room. This is the component separation room. This is apheresis room. You can see the couch and the machine. And this is our main interest of the Department of Transfusion Medicine. This is a transfusion medicine team. And this is Dr. Akshay Batra, our OIC of the Department of the Transfusion Medicine. So after again 1 month, application for the grant for the fresh license was submitted by the attorney of the blood center, that is Director HBCH MPMC Varanasi, in the prescribed pro forma along with the license fee. Date for first inspection was finalized and intimated to the Office of the Assistant Drug Controller, CDSCO Subzone, and Inspector of Drug, UPFDA. Job responsibilities of all the staff of HPCL Blood Center were delineated, and appropriate training was given to all. We need some supportive documents also, that is like staff CV, degree, appointment letter, experience certificate, attorney CV and details, and equipment details in tabulated form. So this is the Form 27C to required for the blood center licensing. It was submitted on 12th of November 2018 on the behalf of our director, Dr. Pradhan. So finally, we need detailed list of the all equipment. Like just for example, blood donor couches, we need model name, then quantity, then serial number of each and every equipments, then IQ date, OQ date, PQ and calibration, and remarks. Like if this equipment count for repairs, you need to put remarks so the during inspection it can be noted. If it is anything pending, you should mention in the table. So finally, we procure around 76 equipments before application applying the license. The form submitted, the form in 4 copies, one office Varanasi, then Ghaziabad, Lucknow, and one again different office in the Varanasi only. So after inspection was done and first inspection report was given to us. So the team who done the inspection, there are 5 persons, 6 persons, 5 from the non-medical like pharmacy background, went from medical background. Dr. S.K. Singh, MD pathology, this is from BHU. Then one drug inspector, then assistant drug controller, then inspector of drug Varanasi, then inspector of drug Varanasi, assistant commissioner drugs. So this is a 15-page report. So they generally checking each and every minute thing, like what is the area proposed and what is the actual area. So each part of area, each equipments like blood bank manual, they said yes, no. Then again, like standard operating procedure, SOP prepared, however in draft stage. So these 15 pages, they given us report, and again they finally just given some observations. So the licensing is not easy. They just not given license, they submitted observation and advise us to please correct these things. So after that, again December 2018, the summarized observations were made regarding location and surroundings, building, facilities, equipments, reagents, kits, labeling, records, and registers. Observation as non-conformities were also made. The blood center was given opportunity to complete those requirements, and officials were requested for follow-up visit. Then we again returned to the office for the request for the re-inspection. So finally, January 2019, the inspection was done by the assistant drug controller. Resolutions for the observation made in the first inspection were analyzed, and recommendation for the grant of the fresh blood center license was made by the concerned officials. So finally, we got the license on the 1st of Feb 2019. And this is the inauguration photographs. Dr. Satyajit Pradhan, our Deputy Director, Dr. Pankaj Chaturvedi, OIC Varanasi project, and this is representative from the Tata Trust. These are our social workers and other staff. You can see Dr. Batra here. So here you can see the Dr. Mittal, who was the previous Deputy Director of our institute. And first owner is none other than Dr. Pankaj Chaturvedi. Then after that, you have to maintain all data very carefully, because they used to do follow-up inspection and surprise inspection also. So they can come anytime. They done it twice, and again they always able to find some small things, and we need to improve those things. So these are the our rate list for the TMH. TMH is always giving the use subsidy to our general patient. Like NC, we are charging for the STP is only rupees 550, general 5,500, and STP 11,000. So actually the cost of this SDP bag is only, I think, around approximately 7,500. So we are giving subsidy to each general and NC patient. So again, after that, you need blood. Where you can get your stock, if you need to do camps, we are doing one camp every month at least. We total collected around 16,000 units. We are collecting 600 units per month, STP 120 per month. We collected 7 stem cells collected, and 12 granulocyte collection, and 5 plasma exchange was also done. We need some platelet donors, and we used to do platelet donor drive. We done total 14 awareness programs for the platelet donor registry. So donation done by staff 100, and our staff donated around 30 STP. Our donor registry, we have around 600 total, and staff 300. But again, we are working on this because we want 6,000, and we are working day and night and for this. We are running 2-year advanced diploma in the blood transfusion for technicians. Then what are the future plans? We are applying for the license for various things like blood irradiator, PBSC, red cell collection, saline wash red cells, and platelet in additive solutions. We are planning to how to increase the number of STP donors. We are planning MD course in the blood transfusion and HBNI post MD fellowship. So in conclusion, blood banking is a comprehensive process. We need intensive monitoring for safety and regulatory purpose. And the success of blood banking is dependent upon the number of available blood and platelet donors, and it is the most challenging part of the blood banking service in India. So this is the one part. So picture abhi baki hai. I went to so many real-time situations. So it is for our students in real world. If you want to practice medical oncology, I am just saying it, inclusion criteria for practicing medical oncology is a good blood bank. So like after my completion and my training at TMH, I just joined Allahabad One Center, and I just, because my institution is no blood bank, so I just visited our blood bank at Allahabad, and I'm fortunate they are having apheresis machine, but nobody was using. So I was the first user of apheresis machine. That's how I settled down. If you are going to any place for joining, or you want to planning settling down in any city, just go to the blood bank. If it is good for you, then stay there. Otherwise, immediately come back from that place. Otherwise, you will not able to do anything in your medical oncology practice. So I just gone through history of this Allahabad Blood Bank. In fact, they started the IMA blood bank project was taken in 2000, and initial corpus of 15 lakhs were generated largely with the help of donations of the rupees 5 lakh each from 2 gentlemen of the city, and donation from the AMA members, and saving from the AMA funds. And the license was, the blood bank was received on 7th April 2003. But again, you can see sometimes the things can happen. The AMA blood bank is providing its services to the citizen of Allahabad, must have served Many precious life dispensing more than 6,000 units per month, blood and components. So they are working so hard. This workload is more than the SCPGI Lucknow from Allahabad, that is the number one best, maximum load in the all over UP. And again, they are, after the sincere workings, because there is an NGO, they are able to generate additional fund of around 36 crores. If you work sincerely, you can get output also. And how they will do this? The beauty of AMA Blood Bank is they are working 24/7. Like if any trauma patient needed blood, you can donate at the 2 a.m. in the night also. Because most of the government blood bank closed by 5 p.m. for the at least donation purpose. So they are working 24/7. That's why they are doing so much of work. And after that, a good NGO, a good team, they able to generate, they made the state-of-art multi-story conventional halls consisting of ultra-modern auditorium with a seating capacity of 825, and it was inaugurated by the President of India 29th June 2018 as a part of centenary celebration. So if you do good work, you can do many more things also. This is a photograph of inauguration of that convention center. I'm just show few slides how one blood bank can do, good blood bank do on things. And this is the photograph of President of India. And this is the photograph of inauguration. You can see the auditorium made by IMA, just few photograph. This is our group photograph. And we planned, the plan was basic plan for the convention center. This is started in 2012. So you can just quickly go through the process how we can making of the one convention center. It started with level -3. You can see the our evacuation, then foundation was done. Then again slowly there we are coming up further, and again you can see the view. This is the how construction process is going on, and slowly building is coming. First floor, second floor. This is the top floor, and you can see this is our blood bank managing committee. Just less than 10 people are working, but our AMA strength was there in Allahabad was around 1100 doctors. This is Dr. K.K. Agarwal. He also visited our place. Famous Dr. K.K. Agarwal unfortunately died. And this is the voluntary donation. They used to involve, in fact, this Kripalu Maharaj, many institutions to maintain their stocks. In fact, they're maintaining stock around more than 1,000 bags. They used to do outdoor camps also. So, of course, when I visited blood bank, I joined. I just make wish that I want to work for this blood bank also, though I was technical expert. And again, I always used to invite my teachers for the visiting Allahabad, Dr. Parikh sir, Dr. Kurkure, Dr. Ashish Bakshi. You can see Dr. Pankaj. We used to do some camp with Tata Hospital, Allahabad. This is our building. And again, this 20th October 2019, Dr. Banawali was invited and Dr. J.P. Agarwal. You can see they both visited that our convention center. Dr. Banawali awarded with Dr. Anup Tripathi oration. This is Dr. Prasad Narayanan. This is Dr. J.P. Agarwal. This is Dr. Purush Parvak, our head of the ex-head of the department, Tata Road Hospital, Medical Oncology. He also given Dr. B.L. Agarwal oration. So, but again, if you do want to go, but sometimes you need tough times also, you need to face, you need to do some agitation in the roads, and you have to represent, talk to the public, and you need to fight election and also win election for doing good work. Things are not very easy in various places. your account should be clear as far as income tax purpose, otherwise everything can be shut down. And sometimes you need a passport. In fact, in 2009, we submitted one writ to the High Court to issue our licensing because it was held up for various reasons. But again, in results, all is well if ends well. Finally, you can see the various areas of our convention centers. And in fact, there is a guest house also. People can go and stay there. And this is the building started around 100 years back. And finally, this is the final shape. And this is the all doctors of Allahabad. They can somehow different mood in a cultural function. So with this, I'm ending my presentation by my all TMH seniors, friends, and colleague. This is Dr. Girish, visited Allahabad 2010. Dr. Sudhir Gupta, sir, Dr. Parik, sir, Dr. Sudhir Gupta, sir. This is our director in 2010, and this is Dr. Sushma Agarwal, is a professor in SUPJ Lucknow. You can see Dr. Kumar also visited in, our place in 2010. You can see Dr. Kumar in a different mood. So coming back to Varanasi, these are our previous SPSRs, Dr. Chakor, Dr. Monica, Dr. Lingraj, Dr. Sudeep with all hemat and transplant team, is Dr. Avinash, Dr. Batra, you can see here. This is Dr. Neha, Dr. Rajni's sister. So Varanasi, for Varanasi being a realty, we are getting a lot of support from Mumbai. They are working day and night. They are visiting Varanasi almost every month if conditions allowed. You can see, but sometimes we spare to go the visit the Varanasi also. You can see Dr. Kumar, Dr. Pankaj, and all our director. Again, one more photograph. This is Dr. Sambha Sivaya, our present professor and head of the department. Again, photograph, one more meeting. You can see team Mumbai and Varanasi. And you can see Dr. Akhil in a different mood also. And you can see everybody is enjoying during cricket match at Varanasi. You can see Dr. Tanmay, Dr. Sambhaswaya. Again, after finishing work, we used to go some place, sometime for the dinner. You can see Dr. Anshul, Dr. Anuj Gupta, Dr. Somnath. So Dr. Sujay, we are celebrating his birthday. Dr. Megha. And nothing can be completed without Dr. Naveen Khatri. We had used to go to Dr. Lingraj, and he visited many times to just encourage us and for making things in a good shape. This is my initial SPSRs when I joined Dr. Sudeep, Dr. Tanmay, and Dr. Somnath. Again, I can say Mumbai is working very hard to Varanasi become a reality. You can see Dr. Jaya Ghosh, Dr. Manju, again Dr. Kumar. So with all encouragement, we organized a dedicated medical oncology CME this February 2021. You can see our resident Satvik, Amit. So this is our first transplant patient. You can see the Dr. Lingraj and the joy of our team. So coming to the blood banking again, and with after 2 years in Feb 2021, we got another license from our second center at MP MMCC. And this is our second consultant, Department of Transfusion Medicine, he is Dr. Siddharth, and Dr. Jakaria, head of the Department of Pathology. So now we are running 2 blood bank at Varanasi. So this is Dr. Durgatosh Pandey, Deputy Director MPVMC, and head of the department surgical oncology. He donated first donor in the MPVMC blood bank. So Varanasi, Dr. Badwe, our director, with all Dr. Pankaj working very hard for each and everything. We need to represent us with politicians also sometime. And Dr. Badwe and Dr. Pankaj and a lot of team from Mumbai visited Varanasi on this annual day, which was held in Feb 2021. And this is our small department at TMH Varanasi. You can see Dr. Sambhas Vaya, Anuj Gupta, Dr. Anil Singh, Dr. Anshul, Amit, Satvik. So all our residents and space are. So we are small, but we are trying to do each and everything in a good way and try to follow the footsteps of TMH Mumbai. Thank you. So Dr. Batra is here with us. You can, if any questions, we are happy to take up regarding the blood bank.
So thanks a lot, sir, for the extensive presentation and the pulse of wisdom. Also, besides setting up a new center, it is very important to carry over the department in together, and that is the thing which I am learning from all of you. If there are any questions that can be posted here or can be asked directly, Dr. Akshay Batra sir is also there. He is in charge of the transfusion medicine. So if any questions related to blood bank or any other questions can be asked directly here. So one question I would like to ask, how to improve our registry for the platelet donors and blood donors? What steps should be taken? Because a new center needs a significant amount of blood and blood products. How should we go about it? What are the suggestions that a center should follow, especially a newly established center?
Thank you, Dr. Akhil. When we talk about platelet donor registry or any kind of blood donor registry, voluntary blood donor registry, the approach to that depends upon the geographical location where we are having this center. So basically, the approach which we would be applying in a city like, let's say, Mumbai, Delhi, or Chennai would be different from what we would be applying to a city like Lucknow, Varanasi, or maybe Ranchi or Patna. The society or the socio status of that city would dictate the approach and the tailor-made approach. There is no one tailor-made approach that can be applied, but still there are few points which we can always take from the places where they are already having successful registry. Like for example, a very good platelet donor registry is with the name of Save a Life is being practiced in TMS Mumbai, started by Department of Pediatric Oncology way back in 2009. Dr. Tushar has started that, and with the help of Dr. Girish and all, it's been very successfully running there. So one of the approaches, what they have tried is to involve the NGOs and the various companies which are business houses which are there in Mumbai. Along with that, certain societies are also involved with the help of certain NGOs like Nargis Dutt Foundation and all. So they are being assisted by these organizations in their drive for platelet donor registry. In Varanasi, like for example here, or maybe in Lucknow also, in a state like Uttar Pradesh, motivating a general mass for blood donation is itself is a challenge. But then again, you never find easy way in your life if you want to succeed. So what we do is we evaluate the same kind of pattern what I have learned in Mumbai from these from Sir Girish sir and Tushar sir, and we try to involve the various business houses, the local traders who are there. Along with that, there are certain offices like DLW. There's a huge organization in itself. Then Tata Consultancy and BHEL, IIT, BHU. So these are the organizations where we try to go and have sensitize those guys regarding the importance of having platelet donor registry. And the most important part for any drive when you go for any kind of be it in any place is to appeal to their empathy level towards the patient, rather than giving them a whole bunch of lectures that what is the advantages of being having a platelet donor, what are the things that you would be achieving by coming at the blood bank. You appeal to their empathy towards the patient. So if you tell them that by giving 1 unit or if you are regularly giving platelets, the 4-year-old kid who has got, let's say, MN or ALL would be benefiting out of it. So then they would be more willing to come toward for this noble cause. We have some success in that, but still we are way long for that, and it's still I think a lot of but because of this pandemic we have been stalled in this. But once this is over, we would be very much going again reinitiating these things again for various organizations.
So thank you, Dr. Batra. We are working very hard, and because of vaccination, and we can't donate after 2 weeks gap needed. So I think within after month of June, we will start the activity again, and our target is to achieve at least 6,000 numbers in the platelet donor registry, and we need different model for Varanasi. And we will take all advice from Mumbai, and I think within 3 months we can say our target is that we want to increase, we add another number of 400 to 500 donors each month.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the comments.
Any more suggestions from anybody? Dr. Sujay, want to give some suggestion?
Kumar sir is there. Kumar sir, would you like to make a comment?
Good morning. Good morning. My sincere apology, Mr. Ji. Usually this class is at 9:30, and then when I was looking at around just now 5 minutes back, then I realized, oh, it is 8:30. My sincere apology. Anyway, I've heard your this lecture earlier. I know. And then I realized I have missed the part. In fact, you were asking for suggestion. No, this will be huge learning for everyone listening here. This will be huge learning for people who are establishing and who, once they pass out, when they go back to their respective places and they want to start afresh, how they can establish newer things. So, Mishra ji, this is a huge learning will be a huge learning for everyone listening you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for agreeing to take this lecture. I was very keen that everyone in the department and otherwise, and I know that in ICON you have given oration on this, people have heard you, and I wanted that everyone, all the young guys, especially the young guys, they should listen to this story, and this will be inspirational for them, and they will pick up few things which they know they can use when they will start their practice, or they will establish their practice in areas where they go.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for encouraging words.
Yes, and because I was inspired when I had heard you, then I was inspired. This was a phenomenal effort.
Any other comment or question? So if there are no further comments, I think we can end that session.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rajan.
Thank you again for giving me opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
Our pleasure and honor. Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Next.